Today I'm making the most delicious lemon risotto and I'm serving it with flattened garlic mushrooms, roasted tomatoes and some toasted walnuts. So I've got my pan here ready to go and we're just going to pop in some olive oil. Such a beautiful day here today. It's a beautiful day every day, let's be honest. So you could use a little bit of vegan block, but I'm using olive oil. So we're just going to put this on a low heat. My super duper expensive cooker. So the first thing I do is I put on my cast iron pan, but not on a high heat because this pan gets super duper hot. So what I'm going to do is put in 1 cup of risotto rice. This is really good risotto rice. I buy it locally. And what you're going to do is pour it in your pan and cook it gently for 1 minute. Don't want to brown it, we just want to heat it up. Whilst that's cooking really slowly, I'm going to get a couple, sorry that was in the way, I stocked up on garlic, check that out, all of those, €5. So instead of chopping my garlic, I'm going to just crush, I don't know, 4 garlic cloves. And the reason I do that is that my husband doesn't really like garlic and I'm totally in love with garlic. So what I do is I put it in whole and then I can pick out the whole garlic cloves and he doesn't have to eat them. So it's the best of both worlds. We get the flavour into the dish without big old chunks of garlic. Do you know what? I might just go 3 today. I might. So that's probably been going for about a minute. Now we need some water. So I've got a cup of water with a big old pinch of saffron. Now I know all the Italians out there are going to be shouting at me saying you should use hot water. However, I don't because I just like to make things the easy way. So that was just room temperature water. I've got some more room temperature water here. So that's going to simmer away nicely. Whilst that's simmering away, I'm going to add some more flavours. So 1 teaspoon of garlic powder. As you know by now, you can never have too much garlic powder. Give that a little stir. Make sure this hasn't gone out because it is windy here today. So get that going. 1 teaspoon of, I like the smell of that. 1 teaspoon of, this is organic vegetable powder. So just pop that in there with a little bit more water. Now this risotto rice is really, really thirsty. It takes a lot of water. Now the benefit of using hot water is that you don't have to wait for your pan to warm the liquid up again. But I could be using hot water, but I'm not. But all the Italians out there will be saying you need to use hot stock. And they're right. This is a Portuguese Sauvignon Blanc. It's outstanding. Now it's really sacrilege to put this in a risotto because it is amazing, but I'm just going to use a little dash. Keep stirring. You want to make sure it's not burning. This is a slow dish. This is a stir and chat kind of dish. The saffron gives it the most amazing flavour. Saffron is expensive, but I like to use it because of the colour and the flavour. Now, I've got some mushrooms that are cooking over there, which I'll explain in a moment. However, I don't put them into the risotto now because I want the risotto to stay this beautiful saffron yellow. Now, whilst this is simmering away, I'm going to add the next amazing ingredient. We've already got saffron for yellow. Now I'm going to add some lemon zest. Now make sure you're using unwaxed lemons, and also, if you can afford organic, definitely buy organic, but make sure they're unwaxed. Buy your lemons. Did I say lemons or oranges before? These are lemons. Use unwaxed organic lemons if you can, but always give them a good old scrub. Because I can tell you there are rats in the orange trees here, so I'm assuming they're in the lemon trees too. So give that another stir. We need a bit more water. Little by little. Another glug of wine. Outstanding. Whilst this is simmering away gently in the background, I'm going to tell you about my mushrooms. I have cooked those already. I took the stalks out, I've cleaned them, and I've actually put them in my dehydrator. And the reason for that is that I want to use the body of the mushroom, the cap of the mushroom, aesthetically as well as for flavour. So I cooked the caps in a frying pan with vegan block and olive oil, and when they started to soften, I put a cast iron pan on top of the mushrooms, and then I added water to the pan to give it extra weight, so we're actually flattening the mushrooms. So here are the mushrooms. They're nice and flat. Oh, they look fantastic. So they're going, because I've cooked them slowly and I've taken all the water out of them and I've flattened them, they're very, very meaty. So I'm going to serve them whole onto the risotto, but you could actually slice them really finely and they're just as good as something like a shredded beef or shredded pork in place of meat. So these are my little super duper mushrooms. I'm going to go on at the end. I'm going to warm them up again. Also, whilst this is simmering, I have put some tomatoes, cherry tomatoes, into the air fryer, like a little vine of them, and I put those in on really, really high, so that's maximum heat, which on mine is 200 degrees Celsius, for 6 minutes. But for now, we're just doing a slow stir on the risotto. I just went to get some herbs and I remembered I wanted to put a bay leaf in. Now, if you eat too many bay leaves, they're not very good for you, but the flavour from a bay leaf, even if you put it in something sweet, is just outstanding. Now, just grabbed a bunch of parsley. This is flat leaf parsley, and it's washed and I kept it in the fridge. So top tip, when I go to the market, it's looking a little bit limp. So I come back, wash it, leave it in a bowl of water overnight, and then it's completely refreshed, rejuvenated. Wish I could get in a bowl of water and it would do that for me, but anyway, rejuvenated the next day. So now I'm going to cut the stalks really finely. Never throw the stalks away on herbs. This is flat leaf parsley. You can use any herbs that you like. So I'm just going to use the stalks in here, give it a bit of extra flavour. I'm going to use the leaves. There we go, just the stalks. Oh, I went up my nose. I'm going to use the leaves as well, but I'm going to use them later in the dish so that they retain their vibrant green colour. A little bit of black pepper, as much as you like. And the way that I taste my food, there's only me eating it, so, oh well, my husband, he doesn't really care, is I just run my finger along the back of the wooden spoon, could do a little bit of salt. I haven't put any salt in yet. So I'm using natural sea salt that I buy. I can actually see it being made locally. The only thing you can do when you're cooking that can completely ruin a dish, as far as I'm concerned, is to put too much salt or too much heat. So little by little with the salt, keep testing and tasting, especially if you're using these chunky grains of salt, because, light's not very good, because they take a while to dissolve. So put them in, give it a little while, and then taste it again. It's been simmering away over 10 minutes. I'm not really sure, lost track of time. It will depend on the risotto rice that you're using, the temperature of the pan, all of that. But just slowly, slowly. This is not a dish you want to rush, but it's definitely worth the effort. Risotto is one of my favourite dishes, and it's one of my husband's too. Now, I would just leave it at this, but my husband likes peas, so we've got a big old cup of frozen peas. We're going to put those in. We're probably about 4 minutes from the end of cooking time. So obviously I've taken the temperature back down with the frozen peas, so I have to wait for it to warm up again. I've got some red pepper, some bell pepper that I've chopped finely. Now I'm not going to, oh, 2 pieces have just jumped in there. I'm not going to put it in the risotto now because I want to maintain the beautiful yellow colour of the risotto. So I'm going to put that on the top as decoration when I'm dressing the dish. I've also got some walnuts. These are fresh walnuts. They were in the air fryer on 200 degrees Celsius for 4 minutes. So they take on a completely different flavour once they've been toasted. So I'm going to put those on top as well as the tomatoes, which are in the air fryer, keeping warm. As I said, I've roasted those already. So here we have my very quick lemon risotto, and I've got the garlic mushrooms, the toasted walnuts, the roasted tomatoes, a few strands of fresh lemon zest, and a little bit of red bell pepper to decorate it. I might also put a drizzle of olive oil on. So I'm so hungry. This is time for the taste test. Beautiful colour. Use a little bit of black pepper, that's all. But that's really, really quick. People are scared of risottos, but it's a brilliant meal. I can taste the saffron. It tastes as good as it looks. So come back soon for some more whole food, slow food, plant-based deliciousness.